So at the end of the last video I did about this wonderful little CobraMode pirate ship. So when I last showed it you, it had a lot of gaps in there that I've since filled up with Millipop. Then I sprayed it with a high coat plastic primer in grey. Then I sprayed it all over with a similar thing in black. And then I sprayed it, I think it's called a zenithal highlight. So I sprayed it from the top with white matte primer by High Coat. So then to get it in this brown state, I use this Villager Game Colour, Gardner Obscura Dark Flesh Tone. I actually used it in this little USB airbrush thingy. I've got a proper airbrush, but this is a lot less hassle getting this out. You can see I didn't spray all of it, so I left some things, and you can see how nice the shading looks like there. I will paint this in a completely different colour, but you can see the zenithal especially on these ragged sails. Another thing I found out when I was just getting all the bits, there were some bits that I hadn't stuck on that I was going to paint afterwards, so I've got a few of them here. But I also found this little thing, which I wasn't sure what this was for, but I have stuck the hatches on these little holes, but I think you can have these open as well, and this is like a little cannon that comes out of it, which is quite cool. I can't do that now because I've stuck those down, but that's something else if you're building it to remember that might be useful. I'll probably just paint all this bottom bit first, just go over all of it really, everything that I think is wood or carved wood like that, and begin to build that up. Let's put the pirate music on again, and I'll do this in fast forward. So you see, I've not really been sparing on this. I do want it to pool, and I'm hoping those pool bits will dry out. So I am going to have to come back and leave this probably overnight to make sure this has gone really dry. But then some of these areas, it should just bring out the detail in it a little bit more. Obviously there's quite a few bits of this, like these portholes. There's the anchor, that's metal. This bit on the bottom is either supposed to be metal, or at least the things over it are metal. I'm really just hunting for wood grain, but it doesn't really matter that I'm doing all of it, because the contrast will be really good for me to spot the various parts on it. The detail needs to be brought out. Oops. May as well use the bit that's dripped off. This bit's really ornate on the back of the wheel. I've got another one of that I did as a test piece, so here it is. And I couldn't work out before I painted it what the imagery was on the back of it. So as you see, because I've brushed this and dry brushed it and put some flesh tone in the shadow bits, it's made it a little bit more obvious. So I'll know when I do this main one here, I'll know what bits to look for and how I'm going to make it stand out. I feel like these tops need to be sort of a green copperish thing, these lamps at the side as well. And I think that is as far as I'm going to go, so hopefully if I put this just on my little stand that I made out of foam board, I'll leave this here to dry, and hopefully it won't stick too much, or hopefully it won't stick at all. Still not sure. Actually, I think I'm going to hang this up and we'll come back to it tomorrow maybe. It's missed a bit. Okay, so I did another coat of the flesh shade on this. I've done that on both sides, and it's pulled in some places, but I'm okay with that. I might do a sort of greeny wash on the bottom as well, because that's the bit that's going to be under the sea. And also off camera I've just washed that the same way, so I really put a lot of wash on it, but I'm really happy with the way that black has come around the edges. I think the next thing that I need to do on this is to paint all of these little metal things black, and then I can go over it with a metal shade afterwards to bring them up. So I'll do that. Okay, so I've just finished painting all of the black parts of this, and some of them I think I might leave black, although it is a little bit glossy. So just adding these little details around the edges of the sails, it's almost like those sails are okay now. They just look filthy, but that's quite nice. And the These bits will be metal. There's the rope there that will do, and all of these bits around here I think is metal. And I actually think I'm going to do this a metal as well, but I've decided not to base colour that with black because I want that a bit brighter. But it's really looking great already. A couple of regrets. One, it was really hard to get in and paint the metals of the windows there through that, and these bits around there, that was really hard. I did a little bit on the underside, but not too bothered about that. So I hope, another typo, that this is useful for you. Just a message to one of my subscribers there. So I think the next thing to do then is to go through a selected amount of these and just almost dry brush the edges of these metal bits now and bring those up so it does look like there's rusted, dirty metal there. So here's the copper. So let's see what the beak looks like with a copper colour on it. Now this is coming up as a very bright copper. It'll look even more shiny, I think, on the video with the lighting. Hoping when I weather it, this will go a nice textured green maybe. I'm going to leave some of the copper there as if the captain makes sure that the deckhands polish the beak every so often. A lot of these things, the bit that really adds to the paint job is where you've got edges, is to sort of try and go down so that it looks like the whole thing is made from the single piece and that you're not painted it. But when you're trying to do that, you don't really want it to go on to the other bits like I've just made there. Although actually I think that whole thing can be a part of this swirl. I'll probably do these as copper as well. Definitely going to have to knock this back a little bit. It's way too bright. It's definitely raining in the cave today. Wonder if you can hear the water. So I think the final thing is I've got a brass here. So I'm going to use the brass to go around the perimeter. Okay, so this is really looking pretty good now, I think. So I'm just going to try and put some verdigris colours on the copper. Got this Vallejo wash for green vehicles, so I'm going to try some of that and see how that looks. Get a bit of tissue and just wipe it off on the top bits, and I'll do the same, just add a few bits of it onto the lamps at the back as well. I don't want these to be as shiny anyway. So I think I'm getting to the end of this now. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? Well, I think it is. So some of these bits here where I've got the very highly metallic stuff, I think I will go over those again just with my standard flesh wash, whatever it's called now. But I think the green things worked. It's just taken some of the edging off. This was brass and not copper, so I think if I go over that with these bits with a different colour, it'll look pretty good. And there's this. Yeah, mustn't forget that. Or shall I leave it? You know, I'm pretty happy with that. I think those I will leave as dirty sails. I think they've got lots of different colours on. I think that'll do me. Let me know in the comments, do you think I should leave those like that? I mean, they do look like dirty rags, don't they? That side's a bit brighter than that side. Should I leave them or should I try and paint those? You let me know. But at the end of this video, I'll leave them as it stands now. So all I've got to do now is just stick the bums on and stick the steps on, and then it'll be time for the beauty shots. So I'm probably going to leave this here. I hope you enjoyed this couple of videos building the Budgerigar and painting it. I've certainly enjoyed painting it, and to be honest, having to paint it on video spoilt it for me a little bit, but I decided it was worth it being such a great model. It was worth me sharing that with you. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to say bye now and enjoy the beauty shots.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew harder, bow drip down, blow me bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Da 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 da.
I wonder if Hollybobs really watches my videos right to the very end.